Welcome to this edition of Entrepreneur Showcase. I'm Edward St. Pé, and we're going to be talking to the Arts and Culture Coordinator at the Mary C., and that is Sarah Qarqish. Sarah, good to see you. I'm happy to have you here on our program.
It's a little bit of a tongue twister, my title, huh?
Well, it kind of is.
Culture coordinator.
The Mary C. is such a wonderful asset to the community in Ocean Springs. And so
Absolutely.
Now you are the arts and culture. So that's what it's all about there, right? Arts and culture.
Yeah, what else is there? And education.
So education. So you're the new person there.
Yes, I am. You know, it takes a huge team of people to really make that place kick off, and it's not just me, but I am grateful to be working with this team. We're kind of forming partnerships with different creative entrepreneurs right now. And we have over 20 at the moment, and I'm so grateful for it. They're the people who, you know, make the programming and the events happen there right now. And that's kind of the mindset and the business model that we're moving forward with. You know, they're the ones who are investing a piece of their studio, a branch of their studio into the Mary C., and we are equipping it and filling it with programming and trying to give it a little bit of a makerspace vibe so that, you know, beyond the classes, once you've learned how to use the equipment, whether it's in screen printing or glass blowing or laser cutting, you can then rent a little bit of studio time for yourself and use the equipment. So it's just kind of this evolving effort from all of us in the community to make that place a creative hub. A creative hub. Yeah.
So now the Mary C., tell us a little bit about the Mary C. You know, it at one time was a schoolhouse, right?
Yes, absolutely. It was built in 1927. It's had some remodel work done to it in the last 20 years. Some is an understatement. We have an incredible amphitheater. It seats, you know, almost 400 people. And it's fully equipped, ready for concerts and plays to kick back on whenever COVID allows. And then we have 4 classrooms upstairs and 1 downstairs, and several different rooms that you can rent if you want to put on, you know, a meeting or a conference. We have a fully equipped kitchen that the IP Casino donated years ago, and we've just gotten a lot of repairs done to the multiple ovens and stoves that are in there, and so culinary classes are kicking off in there.
So you have someone that teaches?
Yes, we have a small rotation of chefs right now. Mm-hmm. Some of them are Chef Demetrio. He had chili poblanos. I don't know if you remember that. It was here. It was the old Government Street Grocery. And he's wonderful. He's Latino, and he's got that spice, and there's that flavor, and he's just really a cool person, and not to mention an incredible chef. He really brings a lot of interesting ideas to the table, one of which is something we're trying out now is the brunch at the Mary C. on Sundays, and it's Chef Chickadee Farms. He brings his chickens, and he literally cooks all these different types of omelets, and then there's, you know, pastries and mimosas. I mean, it's a little over the top, but that's kind of the point is, you know, creating an experience. Like anything you come there to do, we want to make sure the environment is set for it. Our galleries, we have 2 galleries at the Mary C. One is the Duckett Gallery, and the other is the Local Creatives Gallery. Pat Pinson, she's been curating the Duckett Gallery for quite some time. I want to say nearly 15 years. It even could be more at this point. And then the Local Creatives Gallery is only about 4 years old, and they're just across the hall from each other, and they exhibit different things. So you're not just walking into the same type of experience in each room. And so, you know, we're definitely trying to add some immersive aspects to the installations now, and working with each other as curators. I always curated the Local Creatives Gallery before I was coordinator there, and so Pat and I, we team up and curate together now and bring, you know, different technologies and vinyl cutters and laser cutters, and kind of have created an in-house workshop to make sure that, like, everything that we're doing in the Mary C., all the different communication projects or the different artworks on the wall, have, you know, some explanation with them. So, you know, a little bit of vinyl here use it as, you know, a place for text and didactics, and then also can use it as a design down the wall, or to point you in the right direction if you didn't realize there was a history museum upstairs. Or so we're just kind of coming together. It's only been a few months. I'm just starting my 6th month, and so much has happened. It's going to start showing visually, you know, we're just kind of trying to reform what each section of the building really is going to give back to the community right now.
So you have a Sunday brunch. Tell us about that.
We're just starting that. Yeah,
That sounds like a good idea.
It starts this Sunday, and it's from 10 to 2. And, you know, we're going to just give it a shot. Everything is a new experience.
So you're cooking there in the kitchen?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then people...
Chef D is cooking live. He's going to have an omelet station, and you can literally pick out whatever you want. He cooks it right there in front of you.
Oh.
And then we'll have different seating, different cafe seating throughout kind of the area around the kitchen, the lobby, and kind of down into the courtyard. So you can, if you want to go eat by the chickens, he's bringing his chickens with him. So.
Right. Well, you know, I was on the board of the Mary C for a year, a little over a year.
God bless you.
Yeah, and, you know, and so I kind of know about, you know, things at the Mary C, but
yeah.
That's an innovative idea, a brunch, a Sunday brunch, you know?
Yeah.
That's a fun idea.
Well, I mean, you know, everyone loves brunch, so,
yeah.
You know, just to, like, make sure that we've set it up really nicely. I wish you could see it right now. He's really got the layout, and I mean, it's almost as if he's transformed the kitchen into his restaurant. He really goes over the top, and I love it. Like, that's what we want. The building is a skeleton. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Everyone knows that. But it essentially is a skeleton for us to come in and give it the potential that it deserves.
Right.
You know?
The artists, the human interaction, because it's just a building.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you gotta.
I mean, it's like, it's great, you know, walk through it, whatever.
It's a great building. It's a great building, but still, you got to have. You're right. The artists.
Right, the heart of it. So I'm very excited about our first gallery opening is actually tomorrow, and it's both galleries. And what I'm excited about is the immersive aspect. We are always trying to be really innovative and make sure that people are not just taking advantage of, you know, walking through the gallery, not taking a moment with the artwork. You know, the average that you give a piece of art, viewing-wise, is about 2.5 seconds. And so what we're trying to do is pull details from the artwork and pull them out and make sure that that installation attracts you and makes you read that piece a little bit more clearly. So tomorrow we have concept to costume, and it's all handmade costumes, theater costumes.
So tomorrow, meaning the actual event is on Thursday.
Thursday, that's right.
And what is the official date? Thursday,
what is...
Today's the 10th, right? 11th?
No, today's the 11th.
Today's the 11th, so
Tomorrow's the 12th, yes.
Okay, yeah. So the 12th.
From 5:30 to 7:30, I know that.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, this event is going to be March 12th.
August.
I mean, August 12th. August 12th.
But the great thing is that each costume has an entire scene around it from the play that it was in. And so moving forward, even into the future, that's the type of artwork and exhibits we're trying to have. It's not just, oh, here's a picture on the wall. You know, of course, a lot of work goes into that picture, but, you know, pulling out those details and making it a little more immersive with lighting and scenery around it and music, that's what gives it life. And essentially what we're doing in that small space is what we're doing slowly to the building itself. But, you know, you can't have it all at the very beginning. It's all got to evolve, you know, and make sure that what is evolving is maintainable. The people who are becoming invested, you know, it's worth it to them. So kind of just like developing that model where everyone's getting something from it is, you know, what's important.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, we're here for you. Ocean 7 is an ally of the Mary C. So anything that we can do, you know, to help you publicize and bring more artists in and that type of thing. I know we've had your information up on the screen. So if there's an artist out there that wants to be involved with the Mary C., they should get in contact with you guys?
Yeah, they could email me. They can call us. They can come by. Our website is on the very edge of being out into the public.
New website?
New website.
Good, yeah.
And it is going to be the key of all things, how people pay for the classes, how they understand what events are going on. You know, we have several exciting things happening coming up in September. We have the end of summer bash. These are some things that we're trying to like see if it sticks and people want to enjoy, but out in the lawn, you know, water slide, games, artist demos, music, of course. And then, you know, we also have our Mississippi Songwriters Alliance. Their festival is kicking off in September. So, and then, you know, it does seem, as I'm learning and becoming more comfortable in my position, that a lot of holiday events are going to be at the Mary C. So that's exciting, though. It's exciting that that's going to be like the place the community gets together and, you know, has family friendly moments, but then also, you know, we're trying to talk about turning the courtyard into almost like a little beer garden venue. So there's these more intimate things that can happen throughout the month or throughout the week that, you know, I'm excited to put that out there. I'm excited for our website to come up because we have a lot going on, and it's time to start communicating it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you came today, and we hope you will come back again soon.
Of course, of course.
And we'll talk more about the Mary C.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, Sarah, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Furniture Galore & More has been doing business on the coast in Biloxi for over 30 solid years. We provide quality furniture from our floor to your door. That means you can buy it today and take it away, or you can have it delivered. New living room furniture, bedrooms, comfortable leather recliners, and so much more for your home decor. So many selections, layaway and financing is available. Isn't it time to spruce things up? Furniture Galore & More. Ain't nothing like it on the coast. Stop by and tell them Lexi and Nick sent you.
Let's put our heads together on a great staycation. Berry Creek Cabins in nearby Bogalusa, Louisiana is your wilderness staycation headquarters. Cozy cabin lodging for 4 to 12 people with modern amenities, kitchens, relaxing porches, fishing, and a 2,700 square foot party deck pavilion. Call 985-730-4395 or berrycreekcabins.com. Berry Creek Cabins is family staycation headquarters.
Mr. Casey Kahn. Casey, nice to see you.
Nice
Good to have you on the
see
show,
you,
man.
Edward.
You know, Justin Wilson. I mean, everybody in the area remembers Justin Wilson. I remember growing up watching Justin Wilson on television, and I was lucky enough to meet Justin Wilson one time in my life in Baton Rouge when I was at Channel 9 years ago. And I forgot what the event was, but somehow I bumped into him, and it was just he and I. And we were talking. I told him I was a fan, and he was just a complete gentleman, you know?
Yeah, just as humble.
Okay, now let's talk about what you have done as an entrepreneur. You have resuscitated and brought forward all of the old Justin Wilson products.
Yeah, all the products, the TV shows, the cookbooks, as recipes, as way of cooking, Louisiana culture and style. Our company, Justin Wilson Southern Products, we purchased it and have revived it back into the market. Main sole reason is to keep Justin Wilson's legacy and style of cooking alive, because as we all know, he's not only a Louisiana treasure, but he's an American treasure.
Because he was on PBS nationwide.
He was syndicated nationwide for many years. Looking Back series, Easy Cooking, and Louisiana Homegrown.
And we have 2 of those shows here on Ocean 7.
That's right, and we'd like to thank you guys for running the Justin Wilson episodes and helping keep his legacy alive here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Well, you know, Ken, you and I met right around the time when you started this project.
Yeah, and you remember the early days.
I remember the very beginning of it. And so you started this from scratch, brought it back. How's it going?
It's going phenomenal. We can't thank the fan base and the people who try our products and love them. It's great. We're in a lot of the major grocery stores, including Rouse's, Claiborne Hills, Jerry Lee's, Wayne Lee's, here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And about 200 locations between Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and we're growing. So it's phenomenal. The shows are going back to PBS also. Starting up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, PBS 39. It's actually started already. So, our goal is to get it on PBS nationwide in the back in everyone's home.
Can you imagine that Justin Wilson has come back?
He's back. He's back, and he's bigger and better than ever. And people say, you know, isn't he dead? And I said, yes, he is dead, but his legacy lives on through our products, through his products. These are his recipes, and just like a lot of the great chefs that are not with us, like Tony Chachere's and Paul Prudhomme, all the greats, they're gone too. They're brands now, and they keep their legacy alive through their products, and we're doing the same thing, but we're doing it in a bigger way, in a more fun way.
It's amazing. And you know, here's an interesting aside, okay? When along the way we were posting some promos for the Justin Wilson Show on Ocean 7. So we posted one to Facebook, and Tracy Sandlin, our sales manager, posted it, and his wife, Sarah. And so they watched it for a little bit, and you know the thing went viral. And so Tracy called me, he said, you're not going to believe this, but on the Facebook page, on the Ocean 7 Facebook page, we've had 1 million views of the Justin Wilson promo.
That's right.
So then I said, man, I couldn't believe it. So then about a month later, he called back. He said, well, I got an update. We're now over 2 million views.
We call it the Justin Wilson phenomena. I mean, it just grows and grows and grows. And yeah, well, you guys did that post, and Tracy told me, and he called me up and said, you won't believe this. And he told me, and I said, Tracy, I said, that's great news, but I do believe it, because Justin, people love Justin Wilson, and when they see him up there having a good time, it brings back those memories, and the smiles go to their face, and that's what we want.
Well, you know, I mean, there's such a French influence in this whole area because of
French, Southern, and Cajun. It's all right here.
The French discovered the area.
That's
right?
correct.
You know, so I mean, but I remember growing up. You know, my daddy spoke French.
Yeah.
So when we would go to see my grandmother, and my daddy was the youngest of 10 children. Okay, so when we would go to my grandma's house across the river there in Hawnville area, right? And we would get there, immediately his mom and dad, who were very old, even when I was a little boy, immediately start talking in French.
That's
yeah, it was all French. And so my dad would start talking in French, and nobody else knew what was going on, but they were speaking in French. But, you know, it's really amazing. You can think just one generation back, they were still speaking French. And Justin Wilson, he sort of epitomizes that kind of influence, that French Cajun culture, the for real version of it too, right?
That's
here.
right.
You know,
yeah,
right?
He started the Cajun cooking as we know it. If it wasn't for Justin Wilson on TV cooking back in those days, there would be no Food Network as we know it.
There would be no Paul Prudhomme.
That's right. He inspired great chefs, including the great Emeril Lagasse.
Emeril,
he even paid homage in a New York Times article about how Justin inspired him. He's inspired so many people. And I want to say, some people say Justin's not from Louisiana. Well, I beg to differ. He was born in Roseland, Louisiana, and grew up in Amite, Louisiana. His mother was Acadian, but his father wasn't. That's why Justin called himself, I'm a half-bleed Cajun. So there's the story on that. Justin was from Roseland.
I did not know he grew up in Amite, Louisiana.
Yes, he did. His house is right around the railroad tracks over there. We were over there a few months ago for the Oyster Festival.
I know exactly Amite, because my grandparents...
And his family home is still there, and they just renovated. It's a beautiful gray home, and that's his original family home, and that's where he's from.
I did not know that. Well,
Yeah.
I knew... I think when I met him, I think somehow it was in Denham Springs, which is not far from Amite.
He lived in Denham Springs also at one time.
Well, the reason why I know Amite is because my grandparents had a dairy farm. Growing up, I'd go there in Hustler, Louisiana, which is about 10 miles east of Amite. And I'm talking about the real country.
Yeah, it is.
That's pine tree country.
Yeah, there's cows and bayous and swamp and
dairy
land.
farms.
Yep, dairy farms, it's all out there.
Well, this is exactly what this show was meant to be, Entrepreneurs Showcase. To meet an entrepreneur who took a project and got it up and going and is making it work. Give us some advice, other young entrepreneurs out there. What do you say?
Everybody wants to design their own product. Everybody's a chef at heart. I definitely get it. I'm a chef at heart. I love to cook. And a lot of people, I'm going to keep it on the culinary side here. Everybody has a great recipe and a great idea how to cook something, but they want to get it to market. How do you do that? Well, a lot of hard work and a lot of doors are going to get slammed in your face. Just keep on going, get a distributor, get good label designs, get good marketing behind it. Use all the free tools that are out there like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. Get you a good website and go door to door. Believe it or not everybody knew who Justin Wilson was when I started knocking on doors with the new product line. And I said, here we have the original Cajun seasoning of Justin Wilson, and to them it's just another seasoning, you know, but it's a good seasoning, and it's Justin Wilson. And they say, well, no, we got Tony's, or we got another blend over here. And so I just keep going. Don't give up, and don't think small. Think national. And there's distributors and there's companies all around the nation that you can send your products to. But when you send it, you better have your labels looking good. You better have a UPC code on there. And everything needs to be colorful and looking good, and to get the attention. And the other side of it is that the product that's in your can or your packaging, it better be better than anything on the market. And if you don't believe in it, don't do it.
The packaging.
The packaging and the product. You can't have a halfway product in a great packaged item. It doesn't work that way, especially when you're small, starting out with say a $2,500 budget to do everything. It ain't gonna happen. You better have packaging looking good, and the product that's inside it better be getting people's attention.
So before we go, because we're running out of time right now, tell us the various products that you're selling right now.
The various products that we have on the market with the Justin Wilson line, we have the original Cajun seasoning, the nation's only habanero Cajun seasoning made. We have Justin Wilson's original Louisiana chicken wing sauce. We have Justin Wilson's Louisiana pepper sauce, and the Justin Wilson Blanc du Bois wine. This is made up in West Monroe, Louisiana. It's the first time in history that Justin Wilson ever had a wine. This is a Blanc du Bois grape that's grown at the Landry Vineyard Farm. They bottle it and we ship it out, and it's going out to the Rouse's locations. Well, we're really proud about this wine here. It's a white semi-dry wine, and it is a great cooking wine and a better drinking wine, I guarantee.
Let's put our heads together on a great staycation. Berry Creek Cabins in nearby Bogalusa, Louisiana is your wilderness staycation headquarters. Cozy cabin lodging for 4 to 12 people with modern amenities, kitchens, relaxing porches, fishing, and a 2,700 square foot party deck pavilion. Call 985-730-4395 or berrycreekcabins.com. Berry Creek Cabins is family staycation headquarters. Adventures Pub and Spirits awarded locals' favorite hangout, best late-night eatery, and best bar on the coast, along with TripAdvisor's Hall of Fame, offering a large menu of traditional coast seafood favorites like fresh oysters, royal reds, seafood platters, po' boys, as well as wings, burgers, steaks, and much more. Stop by and join us for our $9.95 weekday lunch special. That's Adventures Pub and Spirits, located 1 block north of the Hard Rock Casino, downtown Biloxi. Ocean 7 Television, and Carl the Downtown Rooster. You might say they've got a lot in common. Ocean 7 is the only television station operating from Ocean Springs, and Carl the Rooster is the only rooster walking around downtown Ocean Springs. Carl the Rooster and Ocean 7, two of a kind.
We've got a special guest now, attorney Nathan Prescott, who is an entrepreneur and a lawyer. Entrepreneurial from the standpoint of you have your own program here at Ocean 7. It's called Law Focus. It's on Wednesdays. I believe it's at 10 a.m. And then we have a rerun at 6 p.m.
Yeah, 10 a.m. just wasn't enough for the viewers. They wanted it at 6:30 too.
We have a morning edition and
an early edition, just in case you're working.
Wednesday
in case you're working during the day or miss something, you know. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you know, it's a lot of fun. We talk about the law. We focus on the law, of course, but we also have like I guess the main theme of it is how the law affects us in our day-to-day lives.
And we bring in things that are happening in the news related to law. We bring those topics in to talk about them.
Yeah, and I enjoy doing it, and I think people enjoy watching it. And if anybody's got any questions, well, there's 374-2100. That's my local number and my local email address. We're happy to address any kind of legal questions you have and give you help if we can do it.
Now, this program, Entrepreneur Showcase, we talk to entrepreneurs, and it is entrepreneurial of you as an attorney to have the interest in doing a program, because this is not something that the average attorney does or could do, whereas in your situation, you're very vocal, and you're able to do the show really well and easily too. We can burn up an 8-minute segment in 2 seconds.
Yeah, we've done that in the last couple of days. Well, I don't know if it's entrepreneurial, but I will say, if I flip the script a bit, that entrepreneurs could really use lawyers a lot of times, because you got limited liability company protections, you got trademarks, you got copyrights, you got contracts, you got so many different things. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff out there in the law that protects entrepreneurs and can aid them in their journey forward, whatever their goals are. Everybody's got different goals, right?
Yes, and as an entrepreneur, you're out there on your own. It's so important to have some legal protection and know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No question.
It's for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I practice law day to day, but I definitely need legal advice sometimes.
What does an attorney do when an attorney needs legal advice?
Well, thankfully, we usually know some attorneys. They say that only a fool of an attorney keeps himself for his counsel. So you need to reach out. We all have different levels of expertise in different areas too. If I get into a real sticky situation, I'll reach out to friends and family and loved ones that may be lawyers, and whoever, and just ask. And then we got fellow members of the bar, and I got a ton of colleagues. There's always somebody to ask that ask those questions too.
If you were going to give some advice to an entrepreneur getting started from a legal standpoint, as they're going in,
get it in writing. Anything you do, there's so many times that if you would have just sat down with a lawyer and said, get it in writing. If there's so many times that you and a buddy shook hands and said, this is how the deal's going to work out. This is we're going to buy, we're going to buy this. We're going to produce this many widgets, and we're going to split the assets up at the end like this. It's surprising just how all that can be misremembered when things get tough. So get it in writing. That's the first thing. Call a lawyer. Let the lawyer put it in writing. The lawyer's probably more skilled at drafting it than you are. No grand credit to lawyering, but that's just what lawyers do.
It's the truth. Things are forgotten. People just forget things.
Yeah, often to their benefit.
Sometimes on purpose, sometimes by accident, sometimes on purpose.
Yeah.
But it's convenient to forget, I guess, if you don't have it in writing, right?
Right.
But yeah, because there's a lot of perils out there for the average entrepreneur getting started,
Golly, it's so perilous. And you never know it's perilous until things go wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff out there. We could do a whole show on it, but forming limited liability companies to protect your personal assets, contractual agreements among parties, operating agreements among parties that would show how profits and losses are distributed, who's going to bear the tax burdens, who's going to bear liability insurance. It gets deep. It gets real deep quick, even for a barbershop. Even for something that seems like, I'm going to open a barbershop, I'm going to cut hair, but there's a lot of issues out there that a little work on the front end would aid in in the insulation from a lot of heartache on the back end. So let's be aware.
Let's take a look at your information on the screen. This is your contact information, Nathan Prescott. Nathan.Prescott@pmp.org, and that's your phone number. And you practice here in the Biloxi, Gulfport, Ocean Springs area, right?
Yeah, 100%. I'm in Biloxi every day. We got Gulfport. We go coast to coast. I'm even licensed in Louisiana, so if you got any work over there, we'll be glad to take a look at it. And the firm is large, and we have a lot of different practice areas, so we're happy to take a look at whatever's out there. Enjoy solving problems as we do.
Well, thank you for being with us on this edition of Entrepreneur Showcase, Nathan Prescott. And we would like to have you back sometime soon.
Sure.
And your show, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. here on Ocean 7. The Nathan Prescott Law Focus Program.
Let's do it.
You're watching WXVO Television, Ocean 7, Pascagoula, Ocean Springs, Goshen, Mississippi.